Hello everybody, it is Who Was Phone, and we are back today for part 19. Last time we spent that entire video killing Artorias, which was, I guess, a good experience. Definitely got me a lot of practice against him, so that's good. Today we're going to be moving on into the Oolacile Township, with this bonfire right here being, I think, the only bonfire in this area. We'll get a first look at some of the enemies here, the bloatheads. These are citizens of Oolacile that have been corrupted against their will by the Dark of the Abyss. But before we go down and explore, we actually need to be human form, and I actually think before that, we can go over here and talk to this new NPC.
You? Is that not the soul of the man who fell on this spot? He was a dear friend. I wish to pay proper respect with that soul. Would you be willing to part with it? Thank you. You are very kind. Please take this. I no longer need it. May the Lord guide thee. May the Lord...
So this is one of the four knights of Gwyn, Lord's Blade Ciaran, and she is a very close friend of Artorias. Some say she might be a romantic interest, but we don't really know for sure, and we don't get a whole lot to back really either side of that theory up, whether for or against. But we do know that that they were very close, and the fact that Lord's Blade Ciaran is here means that she knew that Artorias had fallen to the abyss. Whether or not she was here to try and prevent that from turning into something bigger, we can't really say. But she's here now. If you give her the soul of Artorias, she will give you her weapons, the Dark Silver Tracer and the Gold Tracer. And they're both curved swords, or like kind of short daggers, but they're very good weapons. And they're really cool too. You see that gold effect when we swing the gold tracer, and then if we have the dark silver tracer in the offhand, they form a pretty good pair. Let me see, where are you at? Where are you at, buddy? Oops, I think I passed it up. Where is it? Man, why am I having such a hard time seeing this? Gold Tracer, where are you, Dark Silver Tracer? You're killing me here. I guess part of the reason is because we have so many fucking things in our inventory right now. Alright, you gotta be here somewhere. Oh, there we are. Wow. Stopped just before we got to it. It's got a very cool moveset, both these weapons. You can parry with the Dark Silver Tracer as well. She will use these weapons to fight you if you attack her. And I think she drops them if you killed her as well, but we don't want to do that. We're not that cruel. But very good weapons. 25 dexterity and 9 strength. It has A scaling with dexterity. The Dark Silver Tracer has S scaling with dexterity, but lower base damage. Let's examine these. Curved sword used by the Lord's Blade Ciaran, one of Lord Gwyn's four knights. Ciaran brandishes her sword in a mesmerizing dance, etching the darkness with dire streaks of gold. A dark silver dagger used by Lord's Blade Ciaran, one of Gwyn's four knights. The victim is first distracted by dazzling streaks of the gold tracer, then stung by the vicious poison of this dagger. Interesting. Very cool weapons, though, for dex characters or light build characters. Definitely some very interesting combinations that can be pulled off with those. But that's all Ciaran has to give us right now. Actually, I think that's the only time we see her in the game, if I remember correctly. And she leaves once you rest at a bonfire and give her the soul. I don't know what happens if you don't give her the soul, but I think that corrupted version of Artorias' soul can be used to make the Abyss Greatsword. I think. I'd have to double check on that, which I will do probably before next video. This is actually the path that leads down to the valley where we can fight Calamite. But right now we're not going to do that because he's going to destroy us, since he's still flying around. We will be back here later, though. Well, Calamite is not one of my best bosses. Got anything for us, Chester?
Oh, still alive, are you? Think of anything that you might need? Did you really slay Knight Artorias? I'd heard the Abyss found him first, but even still, that's absolutely treacherous. Yes, magnificently so.
Chester's a creepy guy. He was pretty suave, but he's still fucking creepy.
Believe it or not, Oolacile has brought the Abyss upon itself, fooled by that toothy serpent. They upturned the grave of primeval man and incited his ornery wrath. What could they have been thinking? But to you and I, it's all ancient history. You have to ask yourself, does it really matter?
So there's another bit of info that both you and Chester come from the future, because obviously all of these events have already transpired when you hear about them. Transpired pretty far ago in the past, too, because we know New Londo fell before Oolacile fell. Artorias was kind of the hero of that New Londo crisis and helped seal away the Abyss before it could spread any farther. And he received one of New Londo's treasures, the Silver Pendant, which we are going to see later on in this level, as a reward for his efforts. So that means Oolacile happened sometime after New Londo, and before the legend of Artorias had been fully established. But Chester, weird guy, he says that Oolacile has brought the Abyss upon itself, fooled by the toothy serpent, who, that might be Kaith, who we're not going to see this playthrough, the leader of the Dark Wraiths, who we can presume, or we can assume that Kaith was also the one that probably ushered the Abyss into New Londo as well, because of his presence there, and the presence of the Abyss in that location too. But that is something that we can see more of as we go down into the depths, and see exactly how this is similar and different to New Londo.
Oh.
Yeah, Chester.
So long.
So, this next part, we're actually going to regain humanity because we're going to be invaded by another NPC invader. Actually, before I go ahead and talk about that, after you beat Artorias, these two areas become accessible. This is the Battle of Stoicism Gazebo, and this is where you can do structured PvP. So these bonfires each take you to a different map and a different game mode. So they're broken into a few different types. You have a duel, which is a one-on-one in the Ruins map, and then a team match, 2 versus 2 in Ruins, and then a death match, which is a free-for-all in the Ruins. And then I think you also have this one over here at the Dais, which is same game modes, deathmatch, team, and then duel. I don't actually know how popular these are, especially now. Most structured PvP, the Slate of Legends, cool. But most structured PvP I think happens in like Lordran, as opposed to like over here. So it happens in the future. I personally haven't really gone through and done this. I don't know how the matchmaking works, but I'm assuming that it's probably not very popular. Ten streak in death duel. Interesting, but yeah, that's cool. So if you're looking for, more, I guess, moderated version of PvP, then that's probably where you're gonna want to go. Sometimes it can be kind of annoying waiting for an invasion to happen in high traffic areas, but up to you. This path, one's the item over here. Just another soul for us to pick up. And then this is actually leading to the tower where Hawkeye Gough is imprisoned. And that's over here. You can hear him whittling, and that's his hobby. But it's locked. Off the top of my head, I don't remember where to get the key. I always have to look this up. Oh, I didn't want to do that. But, you know, it happens. The last bonfire I actually rested at was this one. If you have a kindled bonfire and you rest at it, you still get the Estus flasks for that. And they carry over for when you warp to another bonfire. So what I did was I lit and then rested at the Oolacile Township bonfire. Then I teleported to this one, rested here to get the 20 Estus flasks, and then I warped back to the Oolacile Township. I mean, that's something you can do if you don't want to kindle bonfires but still want the effect. I mean, if you're on the PC version, it's probably only going to take a few seconds to warp between bonfires and rest, and then come back anyway, so it's not that big a deal to do. But it can save you some humanity if you don't want to kindle, you know, every bonfire. Just a quick tip. Of course, that works a whole lot better after you've gotten the Lord Vessel because, you know, it's a lot faster than having to run back to a different bonfire. Pick up these souls. I mean, really, the souls aren't as big a deal to me as the humanity, because we need that to access some of the story elements. I guess. I don't know if like NPC invasions can really be considered a story element, but I don't know. I kind of do. If the devs put it there, you know, it's supposed to happen, right? So we'll go ahead, rest at the township bonfire, reverse our hollowing. And you know, just to save us a little bit of time in the future, I'll go ahead and kindle this. It's not going to bring us up past 10, but 10 Estus flasks is usually enough to clear the level back to the shortcuts. So when we're in human form, we get invaded, I think, after we go down this second stairwell. Maybe it's this one. But these guys can hurt. They have long reach because their arms are kind of distended. I don't actually know, is distended the right word? It doesn't matter. You get what I'm trying to say, though. These wonky looking guys. Uh-oh, don't hit me, man. Nice, what a polite individual. They're not too much trouble for us right now because of our weapon. The large soul of a proud knight up here is pretty useful. We're getting some pretty good soul vessels now. Thank God. Because you saw how many we had to pop to even get one level. Sorry, dude. They have a couple fast attacks, but generally you're going to be okay just like running up to them and wailing on them. I feel like I am forgetting to do something, but I guess I'm not. I don't know. This isn't one of my more well-versed areas, because I hadn't tackled the DLC until relatively recently. I think it was last year that I first did the DLC. Because I used to be god-awful at this game. I was still kind of bad, but I don't know. Playing a lot of Dark Souls 2, surprisingly enough, actually helped me with this. Despite the mechanical differences in the two. I guess it kind of it forced me to be a little bit better at dodging and stuff. Although I do like this game a whole lot more. I think this is where we get invaded by Chester. We see you get our first look at our sorcerer bloathead too. These guys cast dark magic. Oh shit. And it can hit you pretty hard. It does, as we'll see when we examine some of these dark sorceries, it does part physical and part magic damage. So it not only takes off a lot of stamina, but it can stagger you if you don't fully block. I don't actually know how we managed to hit that guy, but whatever, I'll take it. Soul of a brave warrior in here. I could have fucking swore we were going to get invaded by Chester. It's down here. I know that he does invade. I just don't know when. But I thought it was down there. There are a couple, like, not exactly like secret areas, but areas you wouldn't exactly think to go down if you were doing this level normally. Oh man, I'm really just hoping we don't get knocked off here. That would ruin my day. Let's see, can we get down there? Okay. I kind of want to drop down here. And then from here, there's a crystal lizard over there that I don't really care about. Let there be light. This is a dev message, you can tell because that icon there, I think the ones that are the knights, right next to that that message. Oh, come on, man. I hate getting invited in the township. That's whatever, though. Uh-oh. I think this guy might be in for a rude awakening if we get killed by these guys first. I don't know. I don't even know if he can see us. I can hear somebody running around, though. I might as well just stay here. This is a pretty good place to fight, I think. It's relatively open. There aren't any ledges I need to worry about. I think close proximity is going to help me if he tries to cast sorceries or pyromancies. There he is. Did he not see me? Ah, yeah, he did. Hello, my friend. Alright, let's do it. It's Chloranthy Ring helping us out a little bit. Grass Crest Shield also helping us out. He looks like he misjudged distance a little bit. Hopefully he's not going to try and fish for backstabs, though. Man, his weapon does a fuckload of damage. I think he's using the True Great Sword of Artorias. Oh, got us. That was actually pretty good. But I mean, oh no, he's using the Brisk Great Sword, I believe. Our first death to a human invader. Tragic, but not the end of the world. It's bound to happen at least once. This guy looked like he was being a little bit more cautious than other human invaders were earlier on. So it was really more of a fight of who could judge distance wrong first and then get punished for it. And I was the one that did. Our stamina, not exactly enough to be able to roll away after that heavy attack, so that was the end for me. About the whole Marvelous Chester invasion thing, you know, I was... Oops. I don't know how important that is to actually get. All I know is that it unlocked some extra dialogue with Chester, and he's just kind of annoyed that you managed to actually beat him. But other than that, I don't think it does anything else for us. I don't think it unlocks any armor or whatever. I don't know how you get Chester set. I think you actually have to kill him in human form. Man, these guys are fucking me up. I don't know. I'll see. I'll check next episode. Because as long as we don't beat Manus, we can still get invaded, so... Go ahead and aggro these guys. Don't want to fight the melee guy at the same time as the sorcerer just because you don't want to get knocked off the edge. Or staggered in the middle of an attack when you're heading to that sorcerer. I'm surprised he was still aggroing onto us. Alright, deal with you. Deal with you again. That can actually be kind of a nasty ambush if you're not prepared for it. But I've been through this way a couple of times. Gonna go ahead and run back and pick up our souls first, and then I'll see what else we can do in this level here. Looks like this guy actually did not aggro to us, interestingly enough. Not complaining though. Alright. This time... Nice, we actually managed to get the hit off. So they... Oh, I guess they actually also inflict poison. Didn't know that. Interesting. Interesting. Another thing to add to the experiences, but I guess they can poison you with their regular attacks. Don't know if the regular bloatheads can do anything special or tricky like that. But back to where we were before we got invaded. This "Let There Be Light" message. It's a hint saying that you need to produce some form of light, and then it will unlock this hidden door. This time we just equip the sunlight magnet. Cast light works too. There's something else you can do to produce light, but I forget what it is. But that doesn't matter. Sunlight magnet is enough for us. At least this chest, and this chest has that treasure of Artorias, the Silver Pendant. And that is an active item with unlimited uses, and it's something that can be very, very useful against Manus if used with the correct timing. Silver Pendant engraved with the crest of Artorias, one of the ancient treasures of Anor Londo, presented to Artorias for facing the Abyss. Effectively deflects the dark of the Abyss, especially in its magic forms. So, what you can do is activate it like that, and while that effect is playing, you'll actually be immune to dark magic. So I guess that can kind of be useful for facing the bloatheads over here. But it immobilizes you, so, I mean, well, I say that. It immobilizes you during the cast time, which might not be that big of a deal. For Manus, he isn't going to attack you before the cast time's over anyway. We almost got knocked off the ledge right there. These guys are very dangerous if you tackle them at certain points. This guy's turned around. He drops the "I'm sorry" carving. These are some funny items too. They're actually carvings made by Hawkeye Gough, I believe, and they're also usable items.
I'm sorry.
And that's another way that you can communicate with other players. It's just kind of a funny thing. Don't know how the fuck I'm gonna deal with these guys. Don't know how useful that item is either. Try lightning spearing one of them. Nice. I usually don't have miracles when I go through here. I'm not much of a sorcerer or spellcaster. At least not in this game. Dark Souls 2, I used a lot of sorceries. Holy shit. Okay, glad I dodged that, because you saw how much stamina it took off when it hit us. I don't think these are mimics. They are not. Dark Orb, one of the dark pyroman or dark sorceries or hexes. Abyss sorcery discovered by an Oolacile sorcerer on the brink of madness. Fire giant dark orb. In contrast to standard soul sorceries, Abyss sorceries are weighty and inflict physical damage. Perhaps human souls, because of their humanity, produce sorceries with more tangible presence. That's an interesting description. Takes 16 intelligence. I believe in Dark Souls 2 it also takes faith. So that's one difference. It is still a sorcery here. It's not like a half-and-half hybrid miracle sorcery. Don't think this has anything of note, just a drop-off. But if you're wondering how to get some of those dark sorceries, that's one. Don't know if there's anything over here. I'm kind of as much exploring this as walking through it, so... How the fuck do we get back? Oh, right. So if you want to get back onto the regular path, you can make this jump over here, and that'll let you get by one of the bridge ambush points. That's another tricky bridge ambush point. We'll go ahead, jump up here, and then I'm going to head actually back up towards the intended way, because there's a treasure we have to get. And this is a mimic. Oh, fuck. Don't know if you can lay these mimics out with your strong attacks, but you can. Cool. Not too big a deal, though. Mimics aren't that big a problem for us. He drops the very good carving. I'm gonna sneak up behind this guy, give him the old backstab. You'll see that I'll head back up the staircase in a second, but that's where we. Oh shit! I almost got clipped off the edge by his body. That would have sucked. This is where we beat that ambush right there, and then walked over to the side. Just in case you're wondering. Don't know what that item is. Gonna pick that up. I mean, I guess this playthrough. Maybe once we unlock the shortcut, and then have a little bit more time to explore. But I definitely want to get to the bottom half and then actually do that shortcut before we mess around here. Lots of ambushes here. Terrain can be kind of tricky, so be careful. I'm going to lead him up here, so I have a chance to heal too. Oh man, I need a plunging attack. I was hoping we would fall off and then be high enough up for a plunger. But not too big a deal. Pop another heal. Preserve some Estus. Hopefully I won't die at this bridge part, because that's another spot where sorcerers will shoot dark magic at you. Don't know exactly how far his aggro range is, though. But it can be a tricky bit of rolling to get this right. These things travel very fast. Nice. He laughed instead of shooting another one at us. What a guy. We'll head farther down here, and now we can actually see... Don't know what the glowing eyes signify, actually, but guess it doesn't matter too much. We'll actually see some of the abyss corruption leaking through here. I think this might be an ambush spot. Oh shit, it is an ambush spot. These guys can drop down from the ceiling. So keep an eye out for that going through here. I'm getting some frame droppage. Piece of rubbish. Good treasure. We actually hit that guy mid-attack animation, so dealt a little bit more damage than we normally would have. This is kind of annoying. There are sorcerers that'll shoot dark magic at you, I think. Apologies, I got something caught in my throat. But this is another ambush. I don't know how far you have to go for these guys to aggro onto you, but having some form of range, whether it be a bow or otherwise, can be pretty useful. Because of fucking how many people there are here. Oh shit. Well, we missed each other. Oh shit. No, roll. You also, I don't think you can interrupt your casting times in Dark Souls 1, which is unfortunate, but make sure you know the timings. Lightning Spear has a very long cast time. I guess because of how good his sorcery it is, or a bit of a miracle. I'm not sure if Great Lightning Spear has more or less of a cast time, though. If I can do it, I'm going to hit this guy with a plunge. Nice. Drop green Titanite shards. That guy is going to start taking pot shots at us now. I think we actually might be able to nail these guys without them retaliating. Because we're just outside of the aggro range. Come on. Okay, now they'll start attacking us. I just want to get far enough away so I'm not going to get pelted by the dark magic when I try and deal with these guys, because it does a lot of damage, and getting stun locked is not a fun way to go. I think we might be able to take him out. You can move while casting Lightning Spear, which is nice, until you get to the final parts of the animation. which will lock you in place as you actually throw the spear. So keep that in mind. You can hear guys laughing. There's a way to get up above. Uh-oh. Huh. Did not hit the guy that I wanted to hit. Not enough stamina left over after that. Wow, I'm surprised he actually managed to get that off. Oh no, just missed. Ugh. These guys deal so much damage. We're almost out of heals too. Oh well. Continuing on. This is the last guy we actually have to deal with over here. And there's some guys above that we're going to have to deal with too. Man, I am getting some wicked frame drop though. Soul of a Hero. I'm going to head up this passage next. I think this is where we have to go. Right? Right? I don't know, I'm kind of hesitant. I don't want to walk into an ambush. Oh, there you are. Get owned. Because you can hear these guys cackling, so they're definitely lurking. And here's where we can get to the second story. I think you have to make that jump over there, which I'm not too keen on doing. The platforming is not the best for these games. As I've said several times, I think you can... I don't know if you can make that jump. I don't even know how to get over there. I'm sorry for my my lack of knowledge about this part, but like I said, not very well versed in the DLC content. Don't think you can get to us over here. So what I'm going to try and do is make this jump and not die a horrible death. Wish me luck. Nice. Another mimic. You can tell from the from that chain. Oh, I fucking missed. These guys have a couple pretty cool attacks though. If you're far enough away, they'll do this like spinning roundhouse. That deals a lot of damage. I think in one shot. Crest key. I think, is that it? I think that might be the key to Gough's chamber. The grooves and crests are enchanted. The door sealed with a powerful spell. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll give it a shot though. Where the fuck are we? Where the fuck am I? Okay, there's... I think that's the drop down back towards that level below. What is this over here? That's another drop. Okay, that leads back to that area up there that we jumped off. Let's try going down the ladder. Seems like a better bet. Oh, cool. No, I didn't want to do that. Didn't want to do that either. That's what I wanted to do. Then we can jump down here, get that treasure. Might be able to shoot that one with the bow too. That's another sorcery, Dark Fog. Abyss sorcery discovered by an Oolacile sorcerer on the brink of madness. Create a cloud of dark fog. Although dark fog is, in theory, relatively close to humanity, it also happens to be a terrible poison for humans. Perhaps it reflects man's cruelty against his own. That's pretty interesting. So I guess these dark sorceries are used or created by distilling some sort of essence of humanity, which is something to think about. I guess it can embody certain points, certain features or characteristics of humans, and I guess that is the propensity for violence against their own kind. But when you get down to that passage, it opens up that shortcut right here. And that leads you back into the first section of the Oolacile Township. That's a cool view. Definitely like the environmentals in this area. But now that we're back, might as well rest up. I'll go ahead and level. I think 4 2-minute slots is plenty. I think, yeah, 1 more endurance is fine, and then 1 more faith. Let's go check if this key is the one that opens Gough's door, too. I think Ciaran should be gone now. Yeah, she's out of here. Quick run up to the door. Please, open. Please. Nice. Use the crest key. We'll climb up this ladder. I don't know how the fuck Gough got up here to begin with, because he is a very big guy. Get the size of this bow. And he's whittling figures from basically, like, tree trunks, from logs. He is a giant.
A visitor, have we? Thou must be the one who freed Artorias. An old friend he was. Thanks to thee, he left this world with honor intact. And here I am, retired and blind. Of little help to thee, I'm afraid.
So we hear that he is blind, which is definitely not something you want to be as an archer. He is the leader, I think, of the Great Archers, and he was one of the ones that was able to kill dragons with his Dragon Slayer's bow, and I think he was the most prolific archer of all time, most likely. Besides maybe Ferris, whose equipment we'll see when we make it to the Darkroot Garden after this. But Gough, I think, is blind due to his own hand. His helmet is actually, the eye holes are packed with resin. But I guess he could theoretically be blind, like, the normal way, just has no eyesight. I don't know. He sells some weird things. He sells dung pies, homeward bones, prism stones, and also carvings. So if you already have the other 2 carvings, I don't think he'll sell them, but we'll buy these. Hand carved of arch trees by Gough in his imprisonment. Gough imparts an emotion to each and every completed carving, which helps him achieve personal enlightenment. When a head is disturbed, it speaks, reflecting the emotion conferred to it. This head says thank you. Have another look. Is this not a face of gratitude? He also sells regular and large Titanite shards and green Titanite, and Gough's great arrows. He'll give you his bow if you manage to kill Calamite, and I think if you talk to him and ask him to, he'll actually shoot him down.
If thou seekest to explore this domain, be wary of a black dragon. I fear thee no match for this terrible beast. There's very little to be said. What good is a dog with no hairs to hunt? But I'm lucky to be alive, I suppose.
I love Gough's voice. I think it was one of really the only voices that they use effects with that worked right. When we go visit Vamos, the undead blacksmith, that's an effect that I don't like. It's kind of grating on the ears, but Gough fits his body, it fits his character. Solaire's is another one with that muffled reverberations against the helmet that you hear when he talks. I don't know, I just think it's really cool. But Gough says, you know, what good is there for a dog with no hairs to hunt? And he's referring to the dragons. But I guess if we were to ask him to shoot down Calamite after exploring that valley, I think he would do it for us.
Farewell, human. Lead thy life as thou seest fit.
Thanks, man. We'll be back. If you manage to kill Calamite, as I said before, he'll give you his bow, which I think has the highest base damage of any bow. Don't know about the range, but, you know, range isn't that important, really, with the Great Bow. You're doing it for damage mostly on that stagger effect. I tend not to use it, though. It's too unwieldy. But I think that's going to do it for today's episode. Didn't get a whole lot accomplished, but I think we got enough done so that we made some real progress. That first shortcut is kind of like the halfway point, and then when we get down into the lower parts of the Abyss, we'll unlock another one that leads back up there to the beginning of the Artorias boss fight, Fog Door. And I'll leave that for next time. So until then, I will talk to you guys later.